So you know what it's like when you wake up on a Sunday morning, it's the end of summer. However, the weather is just glorious. You look at your diary for the week and you've got things to do, but they're not in-person meetings. The family are all busy and they can look after themselves. So you think, I know, I'm going to go on a road trip. And I've had this idea for a while now, which is to go to the east of England, get on the overnight ferry to the Hook of Holland, spend a day in somewhere like Rotterdam or the Hague, a day in Amsterdam, maybe back down to Lille in France, and then back round home to the east of England again. And it just feels like today's that day. So I've booked my ferry crossing for tonight. My journey for today is to get from here in the east of England all the way to here, kind of down here somewhere I think it is. And then we go over to Amsterdam, and then I'm going to slowly make my way back around to the UK. The car's charged 100% and it's predicting that we're going to get to Harwich International with 55%. Let's see how well we do. Right, here we are in Harwich. No time has passed for you, obviously. First of all, over there, and I'm nervous, it's the ferry. And this is something that's very outside of my comfort zone because A, I don't go abroad that often. B, I don't go abroad on my own, and this is a solo trip. So I'm on my own going away for the first time in Europe without the rest of the family. I don't know why I'm nervous, I'm a grown man, but I am. Let's look at the stats. Here we are. So we'll start down here. This journey's been 128 miles, 2 hours and 9 minutes it was, and 270 watt hours per mile, which is just under 4 miles per kilowatt hour, which is pretty good. I started off a little bit lead-footed, and then it all went green, so this is good. And then it went dark. So without the light, efficiency does drop a bit. So we've actually arrived with 54%. So 1% less than what the car was predicting at 55%. But as always, the car, a real pleasure to drive. Autopilot is amazing. I had a referral, and at this point I want to mention, if you're thinking about buying a Tesla and you know somebody who's got a Tesla, ask them for the referral code, or you can use mine, I'll put it in the description. You'll get £500, euros or dollars off a Tesla Model 3 or Y, and 1,000 off an S or an X. And if you're in the States, you get 3 months of free full self-driving. So people have been using my referral code, which I appreciate, and it's enabled me to buy 3 months of enhanced autopilot. So for now, and this is all very new to me, it's just queues of traffic waiting to get on the boat. I don't know how long it's going to take. There's the boat. I mean, I just guess we just sit here and wait. Lots of people are looking bored already, but I'm just going to sit here and watch some YouTube and just pass the time. I'm on the boat, and this is just half of the parking on the boat as far as I can tell. And if I go through to the other side, as well as some more cars, you've also got all the freight in here as well. I'm going to have a look around the boat before I go to my cabin. I'm quite excited. This is a lot nicer than I thought it was going to be. You've got like a sports lounge here. There's even a cinema. They're showing, let's see what film's on tonight. It is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I don't think I'll be watching that. Seems to be quite a lot of duty free and shopping on board, as well as more lounges up here. Just goes on and on. It's like a restaurant. There's also a bar here as well. I was expecting this to be big, I suppose, but it's just surprisingly big for a ferry. Here we are, we're at my cabin. Let's see if we can get in. Not my first time, which is good. I guess that goes in here. Lights are on. There's only me. I've got a 4-berth cabin. Just because there was very limited cabins available. It's actually a lot nicer in here than I was anticipating. I folded the other 2 beds away, and for one person, that's actually, well, I think for this is a room for 5, so like 2, 1 and 1. I think that would be tight, but for just me on my own, yeah, plenty of space. Bathroom in here, which And it looks nice and clean. This is actually, yeah, I'm impressed. Shower there as well. We'll see what the water pressure is like in the morning. The water pressure was in fact excellent in the morning. The Netherlands is an hour ahead of us, so I was woken up at 5:30 a.m. with Bobby McFerrin blasting through the tannoy. But I did get to see a bit of the sunrise in the morning. I was looking forward to the Lohman Museum. It's a fantastic car museum, but alas, shut on Mondays. So I found myself a really nice spot on the beach to do some work and have a very nice breakfast. I can recommend the Hague beach area. It's fantastic. Some really impressive sculptures, bars and restaurants. And yeah, just a good day out for the family. I moved more into central Hague later on, found a secure parking spot and spent the afternoon just relaxing really and walking around and seeing everything that the Hague had to offer. It really is a beautiful city. One thing that did really impress me about the Hague were the amount of charging posts there were. They just seemed to be dotted around everywhere. But I didn't put my car on one, so everywhere I stopped there was a charging post. And normally I would just put it on and just keep topping it up. You know, they say ABC, always be charging. However, I've got loads of free supercharging miles to use up. So I thought, well, if I can get a freebie, I can get a freebie. And I've also got some work to do while I'm here. This is a fantastic place to stop. You've got a KFC behind me there, McDonald's over there, and then you've got a hotel there. In addition to these third-party chargers, you've also got 24 Tesla chargers that seemingly never end. They're all over there as well in the distance. You might just be able to see them. This is a working day for me. So look at my little car office. I'm so impressed with this thing. So this is just from Amazon. It's from a company called TopFit. I've just searched Model Y 3 table. Simple things for simple minds. And the car has been performing, what's that? Get rid of that. Really well. So since it was last charged, we've driven 176 miles, used 44 kilowatts and 276 watt hours per mile. Now, for some reason, Tesla, unlike everyone else, they show watt hours per mile or watt hours per kilometre, depending on where you are. If you want to convert that into what most people use, which is miles per kilowatt hour, then you just do 1,000 divided by the watt hours per mile. So 1,000 divided by 276 is 3.62. It's easier when you're getting 333 watt hours per mile or 250. It's just easier maths, but it gives you some idea on how to work it out. After that, I drove to the Novotel in Amsterdam, and after nearly 10 miles in 28-degree heat of walking and 20,000 steps, you won't be surprised to know I was in bed and asleep by about 9 o'clock. The next day, I headed out into Amsterdam. I love the way that the Dutch use bikes quite often instead of cars. I don't think I saw one cycle helmet once, but I'm sure perhaps it's not needed here as much as it is in the UK. The infrastructure is just so bike friendly, especially for families. Although the riding around the city did seem a little bit chaotic to me at times. I didn't quite understand what was going on at these cyclist junctions. They've also got these little cars called canters, which you can drive in the bike lanes and seemingly park on the pavement. I visited the Heineken brewery and took the tour. Really well priced actually, and not a bad tour. The rest of the day I just spent that time sightseeing around Amsterdam. It's the next day and it's home time. I was planning to spend a night in France, but I've been away for 3 nights and I miss my family, so I want to get back to them. I'll be going through France though, so I'll be going via Belgium, France, back into the south of the UK and then back home. Let's look at the journey. It's quite a long one. I'm in Amsterdam and I need to get here, so the kind of like the East Midlands or the east of England. So I'm in the Netherlands. I'll be driving through the top of Belgium here, across the ferry top of France for a while, and then in the tunnel across the UK past London up here. So the car's saying that I'm going to stop here, which is in Bruges, which looks lovely. And then the next charge is going to be here, Birchhanger Green, which is a depressing place. Out of all the chargers, I've been driving Teslas since 2019. Out of all the superchargers I've ever used, I like them all. I think they're all good. Birchhanger Green, I do not like. There's only 4 chargers there, and they're always busy, so I will be avoiding that one. What I'm hoping to do is I've booked Flexi Plus on the way home on the Eurotunnel, so I'll just turn up and get on the train once I'm through passport control. It took about 3 hours on my last trip. I can hopefully charge the car there while I'm having a bite to eat. There's only 2 chargers there though, so that's a bit tricky. So unless anything changes, I will see you at Bruges. Oh, I forgot to say the car's at 7%. So predictions to reach Bruges with 13%. So we'll see how close the car gets. It's a 10-minute charge there. That one won't happen. Let's see how we go on. Well, I've just arrived at the Bruges supercharger. There's a lot out of action. Can you see? I'll have a look at that in a moment, just to see if the car knows that these are out of action or not. It's been a fantastic drive as before. Autopilot is amazing. We've arrived with 15%. The car suggested 13. We're going to need 30 minutes here, which fits with me because I've been driving for a few hours now. I could do with a break. And then Dartford, no Birchanger Green. I'm still hoping that when I get to Flexi Plus for the Eurotunnel, that at least one of the 2 charges is free. Let's manifest it. I've read the secret. There will be a charger free at the Flexi Plus lounge in Calais. And that means I can have a bite to eat and I can charge the car and I don't have to stop again to get home. So it says there's 14 stalls here and 8 are available. Here comes a man from Tesla just on cue here. This must be his company car. He's just opening these up. So I've just had a chat with that chap and he just said they were doing some maintenance. So he was here the whole time. So although the car was saying 8 were available and there was only 4 available, that's because he'd shut that off just momentarily just to check them. I was thinking, could it be that the Tesla network doesn't know that those chargers are out of action, but it's just this guy had put something across them just while he was checking them. I've left my mic in the car, but this is a gorgeous place to stop and charge. Really lovely venue. I'm going to do what all Tesla drivers do though, and that's sit in my car and look lonely. In actual fact, I just took the time to catch up on some work while I was waiting for the car. Actually amazing how fast the time goes. Time to pack up, get back in the driver's seat and head to Calais. Manifestation or luck, who knows. I'm at the Flexi Plus lounge. So this is good news. This means I won't have to charge now to get home. I don't actually think I need to charge anyway. I've got 50% and I think I've got 110 miles, 120 miles. So I'm not actually sure I needed to charge. But both are free, which is unusual. I think there used to be more here. I don't know if they've just put some different companies' chargers in and taken some Tesla ones out. But I'm going to join the middle classes here in the Flexi Plus lounge and fight my way through the sandwiches and freebies and get on the Eurostar back home. I was a little bit nervous about choosing the red when I got this car, but I actually absolutely love it. I think it's a really nice colour, and the white interior is really hardy and it helps keep the car cool on hot days. So not as efficient as it has been. We're at 284 watt hours per mile, which is about 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. I think a lot of that is down to the fact that these roads, a lot of the roads, especially the French side, are at 130 kilometers an hour, which is 81 miles an hour, I think it is. And the difference between efficiency between 70 miles an hour, which is a UK speed limit, and the fast roads here of 81 miles an hour is quite a hill. Take a little bit off, but I actually prefer to just drive a bit quicker and then just spend a couple of minutes more at the charger. Right, let's get some lunch. I'm on the train. It's saying -2% to get home, but it's 160 miles, not 190, because of obviously I think for some reason, I've had this before. Not sure what happened here, my mic stopped working. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is it's thinking that I'm driving across the channel when in fact I'm going to be a passenger, so I won't be using those miles. Top tip is to set yourself up a driving profile for eating and working. Your seat will go back, your steering wheel goes away, and you're in the right position. And I promise I haven't got shares in the company that make this table, but it's just been so handy. So I'm out of the tunnel and looking at the journey home. The car's suggesting I stop at Trumpington, but it's only for 5 minutes. So if I remove that charging stop, I could probably get home with 5% without stopping. Let's see how it goes. Well, I'm back, and before we look at how the car performed on the last part of the journey, I just want to say thanks for watching this far. It really is appreciated. There's a level of effort that goes into making these videos. And as a little confession, this video was going to be about just getting away from it all if you're feeling stressed, and how stress can build up and you might not even know you're stressed until you remove yourself, spend some time away, and then you realise when you start to unwind, which I've done, that you're perhaps a little bit stressed. It's been an intense time. It's just good to have a little break from everyday life, isn't it? The car has just been amazing to drive. It just takes away on long journeys the autopilot, and I've got enhanced autopilot at the moment. Thank you for everyone that's used my code. It's enabled me to buy 3 months worth of enhanced autopilot. I've got camera vision on my car though, so it can't do nearly any, most of the things that enhanced autopilot helps you with that it can't do. And I'm in the UK, which restricts even further. But it does help so much with lane changes. So on basic autopilot, if you want to change lanes, you have to disengage autopilot, it changes lanes, and then you re-engage autopilot. With enhanced autopilot, it does it all for you. And on long trips, it makes life a lot easier. But even with basic autopilot, the car takes so much of the strain away from you as a driver. And not to mention the charging network, which is, I've been a Tesla driver now for over sort of mid-2019. I don't know if you saw that in the background. That was my daughter. She's pleased to see me, which is nice. Teenage daughter's pleased to see her dad. I've been driving Teslas for over 4 years, and as always, the supercharger network, unbelievable. Works all the time, seamless, no messing about. Turn up, plug in, and just charge. It really is excellent. So since the last charge, we're down here. I've driven 160 miles, used 42 kilowatts, and it's been 260 watt hours a mile, so really efficient. The temperature here is 28 degrees, so it's really quite warm. So that's bang on 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour, which for motorway speeds, I mean, that's just really impressive efficiency. If you're thinking about doing a solo trip, or in fact buying a Tesla Model Y Performance, then I don't know, I feel like just saying go for it. You won't look back. Of course I don't know the circumstances, but yeah, they're great, fantastic cars, and I couldn't think of a better car to be in for a road trip. Well, I hope you found this video useful, and until next time, see you soon.